everybody. This is Christine here with the Unknown Humans Remain podcast. I can't believe it. We are on episode 31, NamUs case number 29, case profile number 29, NamUs identification number UP9980 for an unidentified male found in Alaska on May 16th, 1968. So let's get into the case and see what we can find out about this gentleman. All right, if you're listening, you can follow along on our on my Twitter page or on our YouTube channel, where we actually you can watch a video watching what I do as going through the information, as well as listening to it. Lots of different places you can listen, or you can also watch and take a look at the information yourself. So this case is of a male, and they are uncertain of his ethnicity. And the body was found May 16th, 1968. Again, a very long time, as we have, unfortunately, with so many of these cases. The body was found in Wasilla, hopefully I'm saying that correctly, Wasilla, Alaska, Wasilla, Alaska. And the person this male was estimated to be between 30 to 50 years of age. We have a medical examiner's case number. And the demographics section tells us, again, it's a male, uncertain ethnicity, no name, of course. And the estimated age group is adult, pre-50, and they think the person is between 30 and 50 years old at the time they were found in 1968. Okay, so that would have made them born around, 1938 at the earliest, and 19... if I'm calculating that right, I will just leave that there. Sometimes I get messed up in my math. Okay. So let's see. No, if it was 50, they would have been born in, it's bothering me, 1918, if I have that correctly. Wow, that's crazy. Okay. The estimated year of death is 1966 to 1968. So the body could have been there for a while. So they're saying it could have happened up to 2 years before the body was found. The height was estimated at, it says measured. So I think they're pretty certain on that, 5'10". And the weight, 180 pounds estimated. So it looks like they're pretty certain on the height. So if somebody knows of somebody that went missing between 1966 and 1968, that was 5'10", and as a male, that might help. Okay, so go into the circumstances. This again is an unidentified deceased person. The body again found May 16th, 1968, and the NamUs case was created March 8th, 2012. So that's 32, 42, 54 years later. Crazy, but we're glad that the case was created, right? And it says the body was found in Wasilla, Alaska, and the circumstances say on 5/16, so that's May 16th, 1968, decomposed remains found floating in the mouth of the little, I'm not going to probably get this right, Susitna River, Susitna. The body was exhumed by, I don't know what that is, maybe AST, Alaska State Troopers, cold case, after receiving a tip on the possible identification of the suspect. Okay, so that's interesting. We'll go back there in a minute. All parts were recovered, not recognizable, decomposing, putrefaction. So this is interesting. We'll get to the gross stuff in just a bit. Brown hair, no eye color, both eyes missing. Okay. Accessories, a rifle cartridge was found in the pocket, 30-06. Well, it says near the body, but it says in the description, found in the pocket, rifle cartridge, clothing, blue jeans, red and white plaid shirt, jockey shorts, light cotton socks. In Alaska, 1-inch black belt with silver buckle on the body, footwear, brown leather lace-up boots on the body. Okay. We got lots of here. Okay, so let's go back and let's talk about this a little bit. Well, let's take a look at the map first. Sorry, a little all over the place here. And it says it has the GPS coordinates. Okay, so this is right smack in the middle of town on Main Street where the coordinates come through. And it looks like we have Wasilla Lake to the right, to the east, and Lucille Lake to the left. But we're smack in the middle of town, which is not what the case said. The case said the mouth of the Little Susitna River. So let me see. GPS coordinates not mapped. Okay. So I'm just kind of real quick look for that river. Everything's in the way here. Let me move this a bit. Sorry. For those of you that are watching, Susitna River. Okay, so that takes us pretty far north of where we were from this town, Willow. Okay, and it looks like there's a lot of tributaries here and everything. I see the Willow Creek State Recreational Area, and the river has all kinds of it looks like spaghetti, tentacles and all kinds of stuff there. So we don't know. I'm going to try to go back to where we were. Okay, so we've got the Lucille Lake. I'm trying to see where it's coming in here off of the 3 and the Highway 3. And I don't know if they count these little pockets of water as a tributary to there. But if we take the 3 up north, it looks like we've got a finger off of this tributary, little finger lake kind of thing on the Highway 3, which looks to be Parks Highway. So that could be anywhere. I'm not going to get in right now with doing the GPS coordinates. Again, this is back in 68. So things could look absolutely, completely different. There could be more water, less water. Okay. But that's what it says, floating in the mouth of the river. Now, this is where it gets interesting. So when you have bodies floating, and I don't want to be gross here, when you have bodies floating, all kinds of things can happen. Animals, fish, just the decomposition from being in the water doesn't usually leave a lot left. Okay, sorry. And it's talking about the eyes being missing. I don't know if that's animal, whatever. And it doesn't say, it says the condition, not recognizable, decomposing, putrefaction. I'm assuming when they say all parts recovered. So I don't know if that's just the skeleton or what. But here's the interesting part. It says the body was exhumed by the cold case unit after receiving a tip on the possible identification of the subject. So that reads to me like somebody was talking about something and said, I know where a body's buried, or I know where a body has been sunken or chucked or hidden or tossed. And they went out there. So That's interesting because if they got a tip, if somebody was confessing maybe to being present at the time somebody killed somebody else and tossed him in the river, then they should have known who this person was and had a positive ID, right? So here we possibly have a case of somebody saying basically, I know where the body's buried, but it being the wrong person. That's kind of crazy, right? So that's interesting. And then we get down here to the rifle cartridge found in the pocket. Again, we've got Alaska, and we've got a red and white plaid shirt. It doesn't say whether it's long sleeve or short sleeve. It says light cotton socks, so that's interesting to me. Blue jeans, no jacket. So I'm thinking it's in the warmer months. Well, we've got May. I don't know how warm Alaska gets in May. I'm not really familiar with Alaska. Maybe you guys can comment, but was were they hunting? Right? Because when we looked at the map, we've got that recreational area kind of near there. Let's go see if this one, the closest tributary here, seems to be about from Wasilla, about to 15 miles. We've got this Nancy Lake State Recreation Area, so it could be anywhere in here. So that's kind of interesting. And I don't know if they count this little water area, these other water areas, as part of it's not telling me what lake this is, because we have here this Lucille Lake. I don't know if that, it looks like I'm moving the map. It looks like it could flow off of it too. So theoretically, when they say the lake, but I think if it was closer here to Wasilla, they would have named the lake, because we've got very prominently the Wasilla Lake and the Lucille Lake. So interesting. Were they hunting? Was the rifle cartridge found in the pocket? Was that stuffed in there on purpose? Where's the rifle? And brown leather lace-up boots. Again, we're talking 1968. Interesting. So, I'm still stuck on somebody told them, go look here for a body. And, let's see, body was exhumed. Okay. Let me rephrase that. Okay. So possibly they found the body in 1968 and buried the person, and then they exhumed the person after receiving a tip that it could be somebody else. But yet they think the date of death, are you guys as confused as I am? Yet the date of death was possibly 2 years before the body was found. So it would have been completely decomposed. And then I guess they buried them, and then they dug the person up after receiving a tip on who the possible ID was, but then possibly it wasn't the person. So I'm not sure why this exhumation information was in there. Very interesting. Okay, so I don't know. It's interesting that somebody had a tip on who it was, but it looks like they went ahead and maybe buried the person back in 1968, and they took it out because somebody else was missing. Okay, I think I got that square. And again, it looks like we've got some lighter clothing. So we're potentially looking for somebody that whenever the summer is in Alaska or the warmer months, they went missing possibly 2 years before May of 1968. All right, well, we're on to the next case. If you know anything about that case or you've got any information about the area, you're familiar with the area, please feel free to comment below. I just have to thank you guys so much for your support. Concrete Clues and Off the Rails, our first and second book that support these unknown humans. This Unknown Humans initiative has been consistently on the bestseller and consistently on the #1 new release. I could not do it without you. Remember, your funds for this, pay to use those funds towards the genetic genealogy lab testing that can be very expensive, anywhere from $2,000 up to $6,000, $7,500 just for the lab testing to get the DNA in the format that we need it. I've launched a new store so that we can get as much of the profit as possible from these books, and I'll put the information down below. Please, thank you so much. Appreciate your kind words and your support. If you could like, subscribe, and share. And as I mentioned, we got the new store up, and book #3, very excited, is coming out very shortly within the next 2 to 4 weeks. So please make sure that you're in the know. And again, wonderful if you get talking about this, ways that we can help, ways that we can support law enforcement and get names for these unknown humans. Thank you, and I will see you next time. Have a great day.